If I were to ask you to come up with a list of all the things in your life that seem to be working against you right now, I bet that for many of you that list will be a lot longer today than it would have been 4 to 6 weeks ago. And the things that are working against us in our life right now, the things that are kind of acting as our enemies, they might be attacking you in 3 major categories. Of course, there are physical enemies, things that threaten us physically, things that threaten our health, our bodies, or our ability to provide physically for ourselves or for our families. We might not only have physical enemies, but also emotional enemies. We know that living in the same space with the same people for a long period of time can really stretch and pull on our emotions and test our patience in many ways. Many of you also know that living in the same space with nobody can really compound our feelings of loneliness. We might also have spiritual enemies. Well, actually, we know we do. Satan in the Bible is called the enemy, and he knows, just as you do, that situations of rapid change, when we lose control of things that we used to have control over in pretty good ways, they often don't bring out the best in us. They also reveal the worst parts of our hearts that we would really prefer to keep hidden. We have enemies. The Israelites in Exodus chapter 23 were also going to be facing some enemies. That's what God told them as they were standing on Mount Sinai. Except their enemies, it wasn't going to be coronavirus or COVID-19. Their enemies were going to be the Amorites and the Hittites and the Perizzites and the Canaanites and the Hivites and the Jebusites. Those were their enemies. But God said something about all of those enemies. He said that all of those enemies have an enemy. Or the way he said it to the Israelites was like this. He said, I will be an enemy to your enemies. And if God was going to be an enemy to their enemies, that would mean that for Israel, God was going to be their friend. The enemy of your enemy is your friend. And maybe having just one friend against so many enemies doesn't seem like very good odds. But it does if your one enemy has never been defeated. It does if your one enemy has proven to be stronger even than death. That kind of enemy to your enemies is your friend. And that's exactly what you have today and every day. And keep in mind where the Israelites were when they were told that they had an enemy to their enemies. They were standing on a mountain, which means they were on kind of rocky ground, unstable, not smooth, just like many of us are today. They were in the wilderness, which means they were lacking so many good things they were used to having, just like so many of us do today. And they were not going to be able to avoid their enemies. God promised them that their enemies were coming right at them. And yet they did not need to be afraid of any of them. Just like you don't. No matter who your enemy is, no matter who they are, no matter how long your list is today or tomorrow, your enemies have an enemy. So rest well tonight, my friends, because God is your friend.